Hey guys, 10th Dr. Matt here with the third installment in the Ultimate Tennant Hair Tutorial series, and today we're going to be talking about the Idiot's Lantern hairstyle. Now this is basically like a 1950s style pompadour. The only main difference is that when most people do a pompadour hairstyle, they do a side part, and David's hair in this episode did not have one. He does have the ducktail in the back though, so we're going to do that. One thing to note for this style, your hair does need to be quite long. As you can probably see with mine right now, mine is pretty long and could actually stand to be a little bit longer for this style, and it needs to be pretty long all around. The sides and the back need to be pretty long as well. So this is another style you can kind of alternate with among the 50th anniversary and the Barefoot on the Moon styles when your hair's on the longer side. So the only difference for the products is that we're not going to be using the alternate hair concrete today, mainly because for this style you want a little bit more of a wet look, and you also want a product that's going to slick through your hair easily with a comb, and so the hair concrete is not really good for that. So we're going to be using a pomade instead, and this is actually my first time using it, so we're going to see how it goes with the American Crew pomade. So let's get started. So step one, as usual. Next, it's towel dry time. Alright, now as per usual, we're just going to kind of comb everything forward just to make sure we don't have any knots or anything. Alright, now for those of us with curly and wavy hair, good news, we don't need to straighten this time. Oh yes! So instead of straightening, the next step is to apply our pomade. And the nice thing here is you really actually don't want your hair to be totally dry because, like I said, you're going for more of a wet look here. So you don't need to worry about going crazy drying it first. So pomade is actually a new product to me. So it's a little bit more like a gel, but still thicker and not nearly as like oily, greasy feeling. So I'm going to start out with your usual fingerful and rub it in the palms to get it through. Now, I'm going to start with the top. And the thing with this style is that you probably are going to have to use, 2, maybe even 3 fingerfuls of pomade, because you're not just getting the top this time. You want to really make sure that you also get the sides and the whole back as well. So I'm going to first work mine through the top to get it, nice and even. And now I'm going to go for my second and get the sides and the back a bit. Alright, so once you're pretty well covered, you want to take your medium tooth comb and just kind of slick everything back. And what this is going to do is just kind of make sure that you get a nice even distribution of the pomade. So you want to actually comb your sides back right now as well. And the back for now, I'm just going to comb it sort of straight down just to get the pomade through it first. So at this point, you can kind of tell whether or not you need a little bit more pomade anywhere. I feel like I need a little bit more right in the front here just because that's where my hair curls the most, so I'm just going to add a tiny bit more. So here I'm just going to put a little bit on my fingertips and just get it through the front and the top a bit more. And now I'm going to run my medium tooth comb through it again, since I just messed it up. So like I said, you're just going to comb the top basically straight back right now. Comb the sides back like so. And you can see it's already starting to kind of take shape the way that you want it. Now next, you're going to want your fine tooth comb, and you're going to want to just go through the whole thing again right now, just slick everything back. And the fine tooth is just really going to make sure that you have a nice even distribution of the pomade. Alright, so here is where we're going to style, and you're going to want to continue using your fine tooth comb for this part. So what you want to do first is, I like to do the sides first, and basically what you're going to do is just make sure that you get these nice and smooth going straight back, like so. And this is actually also going to help when you start doing the ducktail in the back. And so in between the comb, just take your hand and kind of really kind of smush it down almost and smooth it all back. And that'll just really, if you have wavy hair like I do, that'll just really help get it more straight looking without needing to straighten it first. We're going to do the same on the other side. Alright, so once you've got your sides done pretty well, I like to start running the comb through the top again. And now, if you were doing a traditional pompadour where, like I said before, many people like to do a side part, this is the time when you would do that, and you could, you know, kind of run your comb through and do your side part like this. But, as I said, David's style in that episode does not have a side part, it's just straight back. So we're gonna just slick the top straight back with the comb. Alright, so when the top is almost there, we're actually going to leave that and come back to it in a minute now. So, now we're going to do the ducktail in the back. So, traditional pompadour, not everybody does this, but it is in the episode, as you can see here. So this is actually pretty easy. All you have to do for this, once your sides are combed back, you're just going to take your fine-tooth comb and starting, you know, right behind your ear, basically, and you're just going to hold the comb straight up and comb each side of the back of your head towards the center, like this. And you want to do that on both sides. And now, since my hair is actually pretty long in the back, I'm just kind of lightly pressing down that center seam so it's not like sticking out like a faux hawk. So now, since I can't really see the back of my head, I'm going to try to use this mirror to see the back of my head. And it's looking pretty good. So now all that's left is to kind of give some lift to the front to give you that true pompadour. So the way you want to go about this, you want to take your hand and sort of press it down, you know, somewhere around the middle of the top of your head. And now you're going to take your fine-tooth comb and just start combing the front bit, basically straight up and towards your hand a little bit. And even you can move your hand and just sort of do it like I am now, so you can kind of get a better idea of how well you're doing. And I don't know how well you guys can see that on camera, but it's starting to get some pretty decent lift there. So you may need to do this for a bit. I mean, especially depending on how wavy your hair is. And, you know, like I have a crazy cowlick right here and a small one over here. So for me, it's a bit of a pain and just kind of like a tinkering game where I just have to mess with it for a while. So this may only take a couple of seconds for you. And so finally, I'm just going to kind of press down a little bit just behind the pomp there, just to kind of separate the front lift from sort of the back half of the top of my head. And so now I'm just going to kind of run the comb lightly through the sides again, just in case any stray hairs are sticking out from doing the pomp in the front there. And just kind of go over everything and smooth it out, you know, where you feel like you need it. So that's basically it. I mean, as you can see, my hair is like really curly, and it, like I said in the beginning, it could stand to be actually a little bit longer for this style, so you can get a little bit more of a pronounced pompadour shape in the front. But for a quick hairstyle when your hair is longer, not bad. So depending on how crazy your hair is or isn't, you may or may not want to use hairspray. I'm going to use just a little bit just because, as I said, my hair is really curly, so. And the main issue here is the front, so I'm going to put a little bit more at the front there. So that about does it for this tutorial. I'd love to know how yours turned out, so please let me know in the comments. And please feel free to subscribe to my channel for new stuff coming up soon. And thanks for watching.